let's say if we want to take this single computer station and make it an entire classroom. Okay, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to jump to my 4 views and I'm going to move this entire thing up. So I'm going to select the workstation group. I'm going to move it up so it's sitting on the floor of the grid. And now, once again, with the group selected, that's different than drag selecting over everything. Okay, I want to see everything selected green. And the only way to do that is to select the group of it up here. So when the group is selected, I could do Shift D as in dog. And now it'll duplicate over. And then if I press Shift D again, I can make some copies like that. Okay. Now, once again, I'll select this one again to make sure that the whole thing is selected in green. I'm going to do Shift D and then move it forward. And then with this one selected, I'll do Shift D again, and you can see it does like that. Now if I select this one and do Shift D again, and now move it this way, I can do Shift D, Shift D. On this last one, I'll just show regular duplication. So on this one, I can just do Control D, and now I'm going to have to move it, and then I can do Control D and then move it. So really, that's the difference between Shift D and Control D, is Shift D will remember how far you moved it, and Control D, you have to kind of manually move it every time. Okay, cool. So now, on each one of these workstations, I don't want it to be quote-unquote computer perfect, so I'm going to select a chair. And if I select a chair, the best way to grab the group is to press the up arrow key. And what that's doing is right now, if I have the chair selected, I can see that I just have actually the seat of the chair selected. So let's say if I rotated it, you can see how the wheels don't rotate with it. So if I press up, now I actually selected the next group up, which is the chair itself. And now I can rotate it like this. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through the scene, and I'm just going to kind of make these chairs look like it's a little bit more natural. So I'm going to select the chair, press up, and then I'm going to rotate it just a little bit. Maybe push them in or out. Make it look like the room is kind of being used. Select the chair, press up. Select the chair. Okay, there we go. And then same with this. I'm going to go to this, just press up. Press up. And then just do that for each one. Just want to quote perfect, right? Okay. And then I could do the same with the keyboard, maybe just kind of move that just slightly. And I think that a lot of times I feel like in reality, we try to make things like maybe perfect, but I feel like in computer graphics, a lot of times what we want to do is we want to break that, you know, those perfect angles. Otherwise it looks too kind of computer generated or too perfect. And maybe I'll do the same with the monitor, just kind of move those slightly. Okay, looking really good here. And now it looks less like we duplicated it and kind of made it all from scratch. And what's nice is that since we duplicated, since we named it before we duplicated, all those names kind of will follow and come through. And I can turn off the this wireframe on shaded, and now I can start to see that I've got this really elaborate environment started. And I think the last thing on here, what I might want to do is I'm going to create a polygon plane and scale this up and make this the floor. There we go. And maybe I name this floor. So I just double clicked on it in the outliner, named that floor. And that is really starting to look good. Okay, and you can see that because I added this stuff before I duplicated it, I can see that if I go like this, I could hide all of the computers, or all of the chairs, or all of the tables. And maybe because I'm at it, why not select the floor, add that to my layer, and now you're getting the hang of this. Floor visibility. All right, excellent.